Human beings are prone to making mistakes. However, these mistakes sometimes come at a very heavy price. You might think that all the mega projects that we see around the world today would be planned very carefully and that there would be absolutely no room for error. However, it's not always the case. In this video, we are going to look at the most expensive construction mistakes that were made across the world. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. Number 5 is the Aon Center. One of Chicago's tallest buildings today is the Aon Center, which was constructed in 1974 and was once known as the Amoco Building. The building was initially a masterpiece of architecture in the city. The building was rectangular and tubular steel framed in design. What made it so distinctive was its cladding of Carrara marble, which was imported from Tuscany. Aon Center was one of the world's biggest buildings with marble cladding. The Carrara marble, which made the building distinctive from other buildings, was also the main reason for its failure. Due to the material's extreme fragility, the building's facade started to develop multiple cracks, which caused portions of the slab to separate and fall to the ground below. Due to this, the building underwent renovations in the 1990s, and it replaced the marble with granite, which was more appropriate but came at a very high cost. This building design blunder ultimately cost a staggering $80 million. Number 4 is the famous London Millennium Bridge. The construction of the bridge started in 1998 and finally opened in June 2000. This bridge was made over the River Thames for people to cross. The bridge was constructed at a total cost of £18.2 million. The engineers concentrated on design, gravity, and sea level. However, they paid little attention to the force that passengers on the bridge would exert. Thousands of people arrived to enjoy the new bridge on the day of its grand opening, but the bridge began to sway. After then, the bridge was shut down for the rest of the day and for the subsequent 2 years, so that repairs could be made to keep it stable. They spent close to $6.3 million on the reconstruction, which resulted in a significant loss for the company. SNCF trains are ranked 3rd. According to a proverb, you should always measure twice and cut once. In 2014, the French rail company SNCF undertook a major transportation project that needed them to build 2,000 new trains at a cost of $20.5 billion. However, the company discovered that the trains couldn't fit in the stations after building the trains. Later, it was discovered that RFF, the train operator, had provided incorrect platform dimensions. Older platforms and stations were smaller, but RFF did not take these into consideration. They suffered a staggering loss of an estimated $68 million as a result of this minor calculation error. Number 2 is the John Hancock Tower. The IM Pei & Partners architectural team created this 60-story skyscraper named John Hancock, which was completed in 1976 and is located in Boston. The architectural community praised it for its stunning design and gave it many awards. However, later it was discovered that the building was filled with many architectural problems. One of the most serious problems that the building encountered was with its windows. Many of the building's windows became detached under the heat stress and fell hundreds of feet to the ground below. As a result, later on, all 10,344 of this enormous tower's windows were replaced. They spent a staggering $5 million replacing the windows. It got even worse when the John Hancock Tower encountered another major problem. Although people are typically unaware of the sway, skyscrapers are designed to sway to absorb heavy wind gusts. However, the John Hancock Tower swung so violently that it made people in its upper stories sick. However, Cambridge engineer William Le Mesurier later solved this issue. Number 1 is the WALKIE-TALKIE skyscraper. It is located at 20 Fenchurch Street, London. The 37-story skyscraper cost £200 million. It covers an area of over 100,000 square meters. Its shape resembles a walkie-talkie, and that's where it gets its name from. The design was so astonishing that it won many accolades. However, later it was discovered that the design had a major flaw, which was impossible to ignore. The radius of the glass facade and the skyscraper resulted in the entire structure transforming into a massive concave mirror that concentrates and reflects sunlight. Due to the sun's varying positions throughout the day, the building in front of the structure was subjected to lethal rays for around 2 hours each day. When it is sunny, the peak temperature may reach 70 degrees Celsius. Even worse, this reflecting sunlight resulted in melted paint, fractured tiles, and burned carpet. It also melted a Jaguar that was parked on the side of the road. Eventually, the issue was resolved by installing a sunshade, which cost around $14 million. So what do you think about these major construction issues in some of these major projects? Which one do you think has the biggest flaw? Please let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button.